Fasten your seatbelts. It's gonna be a bumpy ride.
You've got a real attitude problem, McFly. You're a slacker.
Maybe you need a timeout.
Welcome to the Luke and Rory podcast. Here are two guys, knuckleheads if you may, who jump in front of a camera and do a Facebook Live show.
You know, it's exciting.
They've decided to take that Facebook Live show and put it into a podcast.
Oh, good for you!
Why? Because can you really get enough of Luke and Rory?
That's a good one.
Meet Luke Weaver, who's known for his dead sexy hair.
You're an awful man. You are truly a disappointment to its own.
Meet Rory Pitts, who's never found an apple cup he can't be disappointed about.
I'm telling you, that man does not look stable.
Two guys who went to the same high school, love the same music, love sports, love movies, love their families.
Look at these clowns. Hand-picked monkeys.
All right, looks like the boys are caffeinated and ready to go.
I want to get some coffee. You want some coffee?
That's enough nonsense. Now let's join the show.
Sound good?
Sound good?
Where'd you get that clip from?
From the internet.
Most of them, okay.
From the interwebs.
Like I know a bunch of the movie ones.
I think that is our boy, our late. What was his name from Full Metal Jacket?
Oh, Arlie Ermey,
I believe it was him. But I can't be 100% sure.
as he's known in the Corps, the Gunny.
The Gunny.
Yeah,
That's the word I was looking for.
yeah, that's it.
Well, good morning. Good morning to you, and good morning to this guy.
Cheers.
You've been out working the streets?
Yeah, dude.
You're looking a little rough over there.
It's just 44, man.
Clearly, Rachel must be out of town.
Yeah, this
because,
is,
the beard going.
This is married life with 4 kids, 44 years old.
Well,
It ain't getting any better, bro.
I wish I could say at 48 it gets better.
I don't know. Don't lie to me, dude. Don't lie.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome after a 2-week hiatus. That's Luke. I'm Rory. And today we're standing. No, we're sitting. We're barely sitting.
Yeah.
I mean, we could literally fall over at any moment.
Oh, man. Hey, how was your 4th?
It was good.
Yeah?
It was good. We
Do tell.
Well, I can tell you I was in a very good mood all day long, which is actually a miracle in itself.
Walking around in your red, white, and blue underwear.
No, we had a lot of friends and family over, and normally
I did not know that.
in my 40s, for some reason, that causes me to start getting all grumpy and everything.
Oh, yeah.
And I guess I just told myself that morning, I said, you know what? I'm going to be in a good mood all day. Oh, you know what it was the night before? Oh, I got to tell you something off the air.
Oh.
I meant to call you and
Bye, guys.
Yeah, I meant to call you and tell you about something. I'll tell you off the air. It has to kind of do with your post that you posted the other day about your electrician friend.
Yeah.
I actually have something I have to share with you,
Okay.
but it'll be not on the show. Anyways, I went to bed early because I just wasn't feeling it.
On the 4th?
No, on the 3rd.
Oh.
So I went to bed early on the 3rd.
What the hell?
Because I was already in a bad mood, and then I thought, I can't be in a bad mood for the 4th. We got people coming over.
Who came over?
So we had our friends, the Webershes came over, Eric and Shelly.
The fact that people
Elizabeth.
are coming over is probably what would put you in the bad mood. Just the thought of it.
Just people, not these people.
Not these people.
Just people.
Yeah.
And then our good friends, the Vanda Highs, came over, and
I feel. By the way, I'm listening to The Stand right now because our good friend Paul, whatever, and it's like apocalypse has happened. We're in like, and there's nobody around, and they're looking for people. And I'm like, what are you doing? Like, life is giving you a gem here.
This was the pandemic in 2020.
Yeah. Anyway, carry on.
So the Vanda Highs came over, and the Zontis came over.
I'm Matty Bear.
It was a great time. Everybody came over, fired up the grill, burgers, dogs, the whole 9 yards, and just great. Neighbor Jason came on over.
Neighbor Jason.
Yeah, we just all the dudes sat outside drinking beer.
Isn't that funny how that happens?
Yeah.
Like the dudes and the ladies will just kind of conglomerate together.
I had to I had to install the air conditioner Wednesday night. I had to install it Wednesday night because of
heat wave coming.
Oh yeah. And so it was funny how we were all outside. I put up my big cougar canopy because I knew the sun was going to be blazing in the backyard. And so all of us dudes, we're sitting in the shadow of the canopy, and all the ladies are inside the house and the air conditioning. We got the fire going, and it's like 4 or 5 o'clock in the afternoon. We got the fire going.
Now, how are you about a cigar on a hot day?
I actually had a cigar with Jason. Not a problem.
It's funny. It's just like, as much as I love a good cigar, when it's hot, I'm like, it sounds good, but it doesn't sound good.
As long as there's a breeze and I'm not cooking in the sun.
Yeah.
Like today, I could literally, as long as I'm sitting in the shade, I can have one.
Morning Q.
But I asked all the gentlemen, anybody want a cigar? And Jason was the only one that took me up on it. So
rest of them,
yeah,
missing out.
They're just, one guy said I'm not old enough yet. I'm like, bro.
You're not 13, dude?
I know. I know the struggles you're going through too. You need a cigar.
Yeah. I might have undersold it.
Yeah. So
I'm not old enough.
But yeah, it was good.
Good morning, Aaron.
We don't have fireworks. We're at our neighborhood. It's in our covenants or whatever. And so
covenants, dude.
Well, I think I'm. Well, we were one of the younger families until new people moved in next door.
New covenants.
Yeah, which the new people didn't realize there were no fireworks in the neighborhood. So I
like the new people already.
Well, I had to walk over there, and
no, don't be Karen.
No, it wasn't Karen. I was the guy that said, "Hey, listen, I'm just warning you. I'm the nice guy. I'm just letting you know you're not supposed to shoot off fireworks in the neighborhood. You keep on doing it, people who are not nice are going to come up the hill, and they're going to be a-holes."
Yeah.
So I'm just letting you know. It's like, well, I didn't know that there's no fireworks in the neighborhood. I said, yeah, there's a sign when you first pull into the neighborhood. Big sign says no fireworks with a firework and a Ghostbuster symbol on it. So I'm like, I don't know how you didn't know.
Yeah.
So they only shot off one. It was one of those, and I felt bad because they had little kids out there and they were shooting off one.
Did.
Yeah.
Just let it go, dude.
Nah.
I'm that guy.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, I'm waiting for the fireworks.
And the thing was, I didn't care. If he wanted to keep on lighting them, go ahead. I'm letting you know.
Yeah.
I'm not caring yet.
Yeah, you're getting close.
Getting to my 60s.
You're like Kyle right now.
Dude, when I get into my 60s, I will be Kyle. Sorry, Kyle. Yeah.
By the way, there's an Instagram page called Karen's in the Wild.
I've seen it.
Oh my gosh. All right, anyway, carry on with
It
the
makes me
fourth.
wonder, there are really literally people like that out there.
Oh, bro. Yeah.
So that was basically it. People stayed, and 2 families stayed until about the late afternoon, and they live in Kent in South Hill, so they wanted to get back before their war zones started taking off, and they did, because last year they came out, and when they went home, they were literally in the middle of a war zone. They live over in one of the neighborhoods in South
trees.
Hill.
Yeah.
Oh man, yeah, just fireworks going over the family van and everything, and
That's fun.
yeah. So and then our other friends, they stayed until it got dark, and then they're like, okay, we're out of here. So, but it was good. It was fun.
Nice, dude.
Yeah, and I was in a good mood the entire day.
Wow.
I know.
That in itself,
It was a miracle.
a milestone.
It was an American Independence Day
a
miracle.
milestone, dude.
America.
So I'm not gonna lie. I feel like
I'd like
pretty,
to thank the ghost of our forefathers.
pretty much every time I talk to Rory, I feel like we're married, and I'm asking what's wrong? He's like, I'm fine.
That's fine. I'm just fine.
I'm just fine. Good.
I'd love to tell you why, but I can't.
Yeah. We went out to Wildcat Lake, out there to the in-laws' house.
Yeah.
Per the normal. And it was cool because like our buddy Kevin Cruz and Kevin.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Kevin,
He went all the way out there?
yeah, he called like a couple days before and he was like, hey, what are you guys doing? I was like, dude, you're more than welcome to come. And so he did. And he brought Riley. His son Jake bailed on us.
Way to go, Jake.
Yeah, because he doesn't know how to have a good time. But Riley came out with her best friend Haley and Kevin, and we blew up all the paddle boards. And the cousins were there. Rachel's brothers were there. Jeremy was even up from Texas.
Wow.
Cousins were there. So, of course, I was miserable.
Of course you were.
But,
the birthday of America, and this guy's
no,
miserable.
actually, I had a great time. It's and I think you know this, but like 4th of July is my favorite holiday by a long shot. It's pretty hard to squash me on the 4th of July.
Yeah.
And get some floating around the lake, drinking some good beers, chilling in the yard. We had good food, really nice spread. Everyone pitched in, really nice spread of food and drink all day long. It was pretty consistent. And, Yeah, even I mean, the kids just had a blast, right? Jumping off the dock and being kids and being crazy with their cousins. So that was cool. And then Wildcat Lake turns into like a professional fireworks show at night. There's like 3 or 4 houses that like I'm like, clearly you have some money under the mattress that you don't care about every year.
It seems like if you live on a lake,
yeah,
in the last 5 to 10 years, you have money.
Yeah.
Or you've been there for 50 years.
That's a lot of Wildcat, honestly. But
Maddie, good morning, Maddie. She says peak moment throwing the boys into the lake until Maverick ended it. Did Maverick?
I don't even remember. Oh, no. Maverick did not end it. You ended it. Like, so Maddie and Lenny were taking the boys, like they would lay down on the end of the dock and they would grab feet and arms and swing them out.
Okay, yep.
So at first it was just whee.
Okay.
And then as you go on, it's whee.
Oh yeah, it's a competition.
All of a sudden it's full send and Maverick, and they let go of his arms and legs at different times. So Maverick's doing this number and just whack face into the water like full. And I'm like, how bad could it really be?
Listen, dude. You can handle that. Goose couldn't handle it.
Oh, man.
You can handle it, Maverick.
He gets out of the water. I'm like, how bad could it be? And he comes up, and the whole side of his neck and whatever, and it was swollen and red. Like, looked like you get hit by, like, poison ivy. It was, like, all white spots.
Put some dirt on it.
Oh, my God.
Come on, Maverick.
So, but anyways, they were throwing the kids and having fun. And Maddie and Lane's friend Steven came over for a bit, went paddleboarding, because he lives in Bremerton. And fireworks show was amazing. Had a blast. We just stayed there that night, and then got up in the morning, kind of putzed around a little bit. Went for a morning swim. I love a morning swim, and then cruised home, dude.
Nice.
Yeah, that was the 4th. Can't squash me on the 4th, dude. Like, it's my jam.
Yeah, we almost thought plans were going to get squashed. Christy just started a new gig, and they are open on the 4th.
Oh.
And we were just all kind of looking at each other. Because where she works, there is a higher clientele of military personnel. And so we were thinking,
military personnel doesn't work on the 4th.
Right. Like, who's going to bring,
yeah,
who's going to come in here?
Yeah.
And
full 96.
Yeah. And so anyways, they had asked her, because she's just, like I said, she just started, and they asked her, they said, oh, did you have plans for the 4th? And Christy's like, yeah, I got 3 or 4 families coming over. And Christy's very more diplomatic than me.
Yeah.
And she didn't say it the way I'm saying it.
I mean,
Yeah. But she's like, no, we got 3 or 4 families coming over. And they're like, you know what? Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
So she ended up not having to go in. And then they were off on Friday. So she had a 4-day weekend.
Hilarious that they're open on the 4th and off on Friday.
Well, you know what? The funny thing is that they found that nobody comes in on the 5th. Like, everybody.
Which is funny. I've said this for a long time. I would almost rather the 5th be a holiday than the 4th. Like, work a half day on the 4th, get after it, and then recover on the 5th. Like,
I think Thursday and Friday to have the 4th of July. I think those are the two best. I think Thursday is the best day to have the 4th of July, because you get that Friday kind of just sneaks in, and most people are like, yeah, go ahead, take the Friday off too. Have a 4-day weekend.
Yeah.
So I like that. And tomorrow and next year we'll have it on a Friday, and then the year after that we'll have it on a Saturday. So we got the next 2 years.
It's a nice little run.
Yeah. I think Tuesday and Wednesday
Before
are
it
the
gets
worst.
stupid again.
Yeah, Tuesday and Wednesday are the worst days.
And then will it be Sunday 2 years in a row? Because
it won't be Sunday 2 years in a row.
Oh, because a leap year always. When you get a leap year come in, it's the same day.
Nope. So next year it's Friday. Year after that is Saturday. Year after that is Sunday. Year after that is Tuesday.
Oh, it skips a day.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Which I literally think Tuesday is the worst day to have the 4th of July.
Yeah.
It's like you kind of have to go into work, but then, you're really there. Anyways.
Maddie says, does having the day after the 4th for work with kids having the day off from school the day after Halloween? I think Maddie's drunk.
Drunk or not drunk?
Yeah. What'd you put in your coffee?
Okay,
Maddie?
I think I know what she's saying there.
does it go with having the day off from school? Yeah,
off.
I think so. I've always thought that too. The day after Halloween should be at least like a late start. These kids are just wired, you know.
And again, Halloween's the same thing. Halloween on a Tuesday, Halloween on a Monday.
And the weird thing is, like, Halloween's not even a holiday,
right?
Really, it's just we just do awesome things on Halloween, but it's not really a recognized holiday. So,
well, I'd like to thank Maddie for being 2/3 of the comments this morning. We're 15 minutes into the show.
The rest of you,
apparently
get your poop in a group, dude.
Apparently, we're just not feeling the love anymore, dude. I'm not feeling love anymore. I'm leaving the show. I'm going.
It's kind of funny because Maddie not being in school anymore and having Facebook now.
I'm jealous.
I used to be able to talk about her pretty openly. Now I got to watch it. So, anywho. So what else, man?
Well, I would like to say
I didn't even talk to you that much this week.
I would, and that's good. I would like to say that I will go on the record as someone who would like to see President Biden step down. I know, as a conservative, you would think
straight out of left field. We're talking about the fourth, and then President Biden stepped down.
Right. You would think as a conservative, I would want Biden to stay in the race. Here's the cool thing about the last 2 weeks is we did the show last week or 2 weeks ago, and the debate was that night.
Oh, yeah.
So we didn't get a chance to really talk about it.
Really just marinating it now.
Bro, watched it with the family live. Within 3 minutes, my mouth was hitting the floor.
Painful.
It was bad. And it's
favorite moment when Trump goes, I don't know what he said. And I don't think he does either. Yeah. I was just like, and he was so nonchalant about it. Like I love how they were having their faces side by side so you could see the reactions.
Hold on a second.
Hey,
100 days?
100 days clean and sober for president of the Thurston County chapter of the Luke Rory Fan Club. Carrie, we love you. We're so happy for you. Atta girl. Well done.
Good job.
Good job. So proud of you. That's awesome. I hope you're feeling great. And all that motivation to keep going.
Absolutely.
So you got a lot of people cheering you on.
So you were saying side by side?
Yeah, I love those side by sides during the debate. And then to see their facial expressions. And right before Trump had said that, Joe started in, and then it went to crap. Like it was like, I mean, hold on. And then he went like something else, and you see Trump just go, and then for the most part, Biden had some laughs, but for the most part, he was just like,
it was sad.
And then he even said afterwards. Did you hear this?
I'm sure I did.
He said at a rally, like a few days had gone by, and he kind of just skipped around it. But then he finally said, I make no excuses. I almost fell asleep. He said, I almost fell asleep on the stage. And so, guys, bro, conservative.
Marketing 101.
Yeah. Conservative. Yeah, we'll get to that, Manny. Golf match between the two candidates. Conservative or liberal, we don't want our president falling asleep on the stage, which has happened a lot in the last year. And then now come to find out they've had a Parkinson's expert visit the White House several times. I'm on the flip side as you. I don't want him to step down. And here's why. You mean step out of the race.
I mean step out of the race. Yeah, finish his presidency, but step out of the race.
Okay.
Because I truly feel, here's the thing. What we saw on the debate stage, we have talked about on the show, off the show.
Yeah.
I've talked with friends. I've talked with family. He's not there. He's not coherent. They got to jack him up with adrenaline or something. There is a major problem.
What's even more sad, I think, is that, and look, I had a grandfather who died of Alzheimer's, and I watched that steady decline for 7 years. And I don't know if it's that or what it is, or it's just old age, basic dementia, whatever is happening. What's sad for me is I'm at the point where I'm done caring about everyone wheeling them out on the stage. You keep doing it, whatever. It's your husband, your dad, your granddad, whatever you want to do, if you can sleep at night. I'm even more sad for the folks that are no, he's fine. That are so diehard liberal, they're going to vote for him no matter what. And I'm
and there's been a few people that have come out.
Yeah.
I mean, even in the last couple of days. And I'm thinking to myself, are you not seeing what we're seeing?
Even Clooney, who fundraised for him 3 weeks ago, came out yesterday and said the man's not well.
Right.
We have to stop. And they're just not. And it's those folks that are just so diehard, have to vote blue no matter what. I'm well, then vote for Kennedy or whatever. But I'm to continue to I can't trust your opinion if you're going to tell me that this man's well.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, Joy Reid, who's on MSNBC, I heard a clip. I guess she is also on TikTok too, and she posted a clip that said, "I don't care if Joe Biden is comatose. I will vote for Joe Biden in November.
Yeah,
just to keep Trump out of the office." And I'm thinking to myself, this is an opportunity for the Democrats to step up. I know this is a unicorn. For the Democrats to step up and actually put forth a vision of what we can be.
the problem is they can't.
They can't.
They waited too long too.
Because their main platform is not Trump. That's their platform, not Trump. I want to hear, how are we going to fix the economy? Because the economy is
You know
broken.
what's funny is that both sides call the other side fascists.
I know. You gotta look up.
Like I've heard so many people go,
definition.
if you value your freedom and democracy, you cannot vote for Trump. And then I hear the other side, if you value your freedom and democracy, you cannot vote for Biden. And I'm like, both of you are wrong.
Well, and here's the thing is, and I actually heard a liberal pundit talk about this, and they said, if Democrats say that democracy is on the line in this election, then there's no way in hell that you can put Biden out there.
Yeah.
If it's truly on the line. And then he did that interview with Stephanopoulos a couple days, Snuffleupagus,
Yeah.
Stephanopoulos.
Mike Snuffleupagus.
And he asked him, he said, come November, if you lose, maybe he said, January, you leave the White House, whatever, one of those two things. He said, how would you feel? And he's like, well, I feel like, and I'm paraphrasing, well, I feel like I gave it my best shot. It's like, wait a second. I thought democracy was on the line here.
Yeah, I know. It's just people willing to do whatever it takes to try to not vote for Trump, and it drives me bananas. And I'm the same way the other way. Like, people are someone very near and dear to my heart has a bumper sticker on their car.
Yeah,
that says no matter what, vote blue, and I'm just like, this is the problem.
Yeah,
and I would say the same thing if it said no matter what, vote red. Like,
yeah,
no matter what. Like,
no.
Like. So you're telling me, so if that was my train of thought, no matter what, like vote red, whatever, then Hitler reincarnate could come back. Yeah. And I could be like, dude, I don't like the guy, but I got to follow my bumper sticker's advice. And it's like, dude, this is the problem. What's Carrie says, he literally has no idea what's going on. Love him or hate him. It's definitely elder abuse. Yeah, for sure. Maddie, the golf match between the two candidates, when they started bickering back and forth about who's a better golfer, I was like, my buddy Andy in Denmark, I was like, please don't be watching this. Please don't be watching this. Because I know he'd text me in the morning and be like, hey, bro, game of basketball to decide who runs the country, or whatever. Like,
well, and even Christy, who's not really deep into politics, while she's watching it, she looks over me. She said, did they just compare golf scores? And I went, yep. Yeah. They did. I mean, it's better than unzipping their pants.
Stick around long enough, they're going to put it on the table. The amount of people, Maddie says, that start telling you who you need to vote for once you turn 18 is crazy. Yeah, Maddie's right in the thick of that, dude. Like,
oh yeah.
And I've said this before. Remember back in like the 90s, you didn't talk about your politics to anybody?
Yeah, it wasn't a thing.
Like, even people are like, no. We've always had, I've had people tell me this when I brought it up. We've always had like CNN and blah, blah. And I go, yeah, they just talked about the flipping news. Right. Not who you should vote for or editorials or on
By
politicians.
the way, did you hear that CNN has closed their opinion division of CNN?
Good. They all should.
Expendable.
They all should. Remember when journalism was who, why, when, where, and how? Like it was the 5 W's, whatever.
Ryan showed me this video yesterday, and it was a video basically saying where's our civility gone, and it was the debate between Obama and Romney.
Yeah.
And just they were bending over backwards to congratulate each other and to be cordial and everything.
It's gotten raw.
Now, granted, they got when they got into the thick of the policies.
Yeah.
But they still were cordial. And then they show the Biden-Trump one, and it's just like two old men. Get off my lawn, you bastard!
And it's been like that since I would say Clinton, Trump.
Yeah. Oh, since 2016, absolutely.
Absolutely.
And I'll fully admit it's Trump.
Oh, he's the one that styled it up a notch.
Oh, it's absolutely Trump.
Trump's like that guy when I go to the park to play like pickup. It's just running his mouth the whole time, and it gets everyone else like elevated. Like I get it. Like I know it's him. Like I know he's elevated it to that. But honestly, I didn't want to say this, but there's.
Carrie Ann says, I remember my dad always telling me who you vote for is private and personal.
Yeah, right. That's what I've always. I was gonna say is what it's done though is it's worked for him.
Oh gosh, yeah.
Because there's a lot of, I think, the
oh dear,
backwoods country Republicans or whatever that may not like leave the farm that day to vote, but he's gotten his fan base, he's gotten his base so riled up that, and it's a great tactic to be honest. That like they're done, they feel shy, they feel like looked down upon, they feel like shied away from, they feel like downtrodden and left out, and he's awoken a bit of like a pissed off, like I don't even know, rising of people from conservative side that may not have voted before or whatever, that they're desperate to go to the polls.
Yeah.
So, and it's,
well, you know, and Trump is doing something right now that I thought I'd never see. He's shutting up.
Weird, right?
He's letting the Democrats dig the grave for Biden.
He's just, he hasn't really said much at all.
It's like my text message finally got through to Trump.
Yeah.
You know, I get all these text messages. You want to donate? Da, da, da. I usually delete them. But, you know, that one text message, hey, just shut up for a little bit.
Yeah. He's like, 10-4, good buddy.
All right.
Yeah, like.
All right. Luke and Rory Show says, shut up, I'll shut up for 2 weeks.
It was like watching 2 5-year-olds throw bark at each other on the playground. Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was. God, you're right.
Well, you know, and here's the other thing is I got irritated watching that debate and also watching the interview with Stephanopoulos. I don't know if I'm saying his name right.
You are.
Where the question was asked, actually, I think it was more in the interview. The question was asked, what would you say to Americans who today are having a rougher time, having a tougher time in this economy with things?
Yeah.
And he brushed it off. Yeah. And to hear these other, I'll say it, elites brush off these things that are a big concern.
Here's the thing, like, and the American people got to get this in their brains. These people don't care.
No, they don't.
They don't care. Like at the very like bare bones of mankind. Honestly, this is why we have overlapping systems of government. There's a reason, because at the very bare bones of mankind, all anyone wants to do, unless you're Mother Teresa, there's like one or two offs in society or Gandhi or whatever. Like when it comes right down to it, humans just want to step on each other to get to the top. Everyone's got this competitive bone in them somewhere. They don't want to be beat. They're prideful. At least the people that get into politics are, because it is a competition. You have to have those things.
Yeah,
to be
you got to make
modern
money.
Politics.
You got to get that donor money.
And so it's just like it is what. And so when I say that, like that translates to they don't care about the fact that our groceries are 2 to 3 times more expensive right now. They don't care that where the housing market is. They don't care what gas prices are. They don't care. All they care about is being able to say, I won.
Yeah.
That's it. I won.
Yeah.
And
they're going to fix the problem.
Yeah.
You know, politicians who've been in the same position for 40 years. We're going to fix the problem.
None of them have fixed the problem. Here's and I don't think they really care about fixing the problem. I really think it just
it's a gravy train.
Yeah, no.
Why do you think Biden's family is encouraging him to stay in the race?
Yeah.
It's a freaking gravy train.
It's I really think that it's I don't think they care about it at all. It's the gravy train. I think they just care about being able to say I won.
Yeah.
And that's it at the end of the day. My other thought on this whole thing too is if Donald Trump wins in November, I think that President Biden goes away really quick.
What do you mean?
Like, I think he's fairly non-visible from the first week of November on.
Yeah, possibly.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you still have that 2 months that you're the president.
Yeah.
You know,
I
think he's going to not be very visible. I think he's not going to be very active. And I think especially once the presidency is over in January, if it goes that direction, I think that we still see President George W. Bush doing events, going to military hospitals, participating in things. We still see President Clinton doing the same thing. Obviously, President Obama. Hell, for the long time, we still saw Carter, now he's like 100 years old. But
right.
You still see in the first President Bush, George H.W. Bush, would always do that. This is going to be probably the first time that we can remember in our lifetime that once the president, if Biden doesn't win, once he's gone, he just kind of disappears.
Yeah, he'll disappear even worse than Reagan.
Yeah.
Reagan still had a little bit of fuel left.
A little bit of wit left.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he was hitting that wall.
Well, and the funny thing is I hear liberals, their rallying cry is elections matter, elections matter. Sure. So they're all pissed off.
They're not wrong.
They're all pissed off because, they got 3 Supreme Court justices that were put in there by Trump. Elections matter. Well, who you choose as vice president matters too.
Yeah.
Because I'm now hearing people saying that they're fired up for Kamala Harris. And I'm like, you're full of crap. There's no way you're fired up.
There's no one fired up for Kamala Harris.
No one's fired up for Kamala Harris.
Yeah.
But what I've heard is that legally he would have to step aside in the election, and she would have to run as the Democratic candidate because all of the donations are for Biden-Harris.
Well, that, and I think that there's like 14 states, I believe, that I'd have to double check it, but I believe it's like 14 states now that the cutoff for being on the ballot has already come and gone. And so I think that it would have to be on those 14 states at least. I believe that it would have to be her because it have to be the same ticket. I think.
Right.
I'm not 100% sure.
Or it might have to be an act of state Congress to change it.
Something crazy. But did you see that leaked? What did Maddie say?
Here, I'll pop it up here.
Different, but my friends and I had to do a civic observation at school board meeting, clearly on a smaller scale, but we were baffled at how much they said they cared, but their other words showed how much they really didn't and how little they actually listened to the student and parent body. You see this on a large scale and small scale governments. Yeah, I think any of that, I think you're dead on, Maddie. We've talked about that a couple times. Again, it just comes down to I want to be in the position. I want to be seen. I want to win. I want to be that person. It doesn't matter who I step on or what happens in the wake. Did you see that leaked electoral map from the Democratic National Convention? Mm-mm. So obviously the strategists and all that are planning and they look at the Electoral College, which, by the way, I'm a firm believer in the Electoral College.
I am too.
Yeah. What's funny is I used to not be. I used to say like the whole popular vote.
Yeah, just let me the popular vote. Yeah.
But as you get older, you really start to look at demographics and how much you need middle America in order to function as a society more than all of you. Hey, all of you idiots in Los Angeles, Seattle, whatever, who say we don't need middle America. Oh, okay. Like I had a buddy one time tell me, let them break off in their own country. And I go, you would die of starvation, bro. Like
you can eat a lot of fish.
Yeah.
Oranges.
I was like,
almonds.
Or you just be really broke
apples,
because middle America would really run up the prices on you. And
you want to make bread?
Yeah, you want any wheat whatsoever, any corn, flour, any of it. Anyway, all that to say, the strategists are looking at these maps, and like I said, I like the Electoral College. It gives better representation to everybody. They showed the fear right now from these maps that are coming out of the Democratic National Convention is a landslide Republican or Donald Trump win. I mean, it's not close.
Yeah, not popular landslide, but Electoral College,
absolutely
like Reagan Mondale level.
Yeah, like it was like.
Which, if you don't know, if you're new to the world, Reagan Mondale, I think Mondale got 3 electoral votes.
Yeah,
and that was his home state.
Yeah.
Everything else was red, which as a kid back in 1984, even I went, holy.
Yeah, it was a beating, dude. I think it was like 37 states to 13 or something. I mean, it was a big deal. And the only thing that really kept in this particular projection, the map looking, or the electoral votes looking not as brutal as it could be, which still was brutal, but was obviously like California, Oregon, Washington, New York, whatever. And so it's and look, a lot can happen between now and then. I don't know for sure. I think this election I still think it could go either way. But I don't think anybody could have watched that debate. I think if you're in your right mind, you couldn't watch that debate and walk away going, dude's all right.
Right. Well, like I said, my wife.
If that was your grandfather, what would you do?
Right.
Yeah.
Well, like I said, my wife, who's not into politics and doesn't even like it when Ryan and I start talking about it in the house, even she was like, "This is not good."
Yeah, it was hard to watch, man.
Well, I got to bring a tinfoil hat theory into this. My theory is, and I'm not a Democrat. I'm not a strong liberal. I'm not a strong liberal at all. I have liberal ideas, but I'm not a strong liberal in the political sense.
Yeah.
If I was a Democratic Party, I would have Joe Biden step aside, remain president, fulfill your term. Kamala Harris ascend up to the main cheese there.
Yeah.
And I would bring in
the big cheddar,
Gavin Newsom as vice president.
You know what's crazy is how many Californians are now screaming at the top of their lungs that that's not a good idea.
I don't like Gavin Newsom. I hope they do this because I think he's a train wreck.
Yeah.
But if you want to appease your base, because I don't think Gretchen Whitmer from Michigan, I don't think she's a good option. There's one other guy that they've been talking about. I don't think he's a good option either. But then on the flip side, we got the Republican National Committee or convention starting, I think, next week. Who's Trump going to choose? I was thinking about this on the way here. Vice presidents matter.
Welcome to the stage, Rory Pitts.
In the last 40 years, think about how important the vice president has been. Reagan had Bush.
No.
Bush had Quayle. Okay,
hey, there's some hiccups.
There's the hiccup right there.
Yeah.
But Clinton had Gore, which Gore could easily have stepped into the role of president.
Yeah.
And then second Bush had Cheney.
Yeah.
Obama had Biden, which Biden back then,
Let me tell you what.
He could have done it.
My favorite thing in the world, by the way, was Biden during the vice presidency. If Obama was going to be on TV and I knew that Biden was going to be there, I was tuned in because I knew there was going to be a hot mic somewhere that picked up Biden in the background dropping an F-bomb. Oh, yeah. I was there for it, dude.
He's the uncle in the background that's drinking the old fashioned.
Yeah.
And he's like, I'm not going to get too drunk, but I just might get drunk.
I remember that one time he grabbed Obama's shoulders and leaned in and goes, "You effing did it." Like, the mic was hot, and I was like, and Biden, Obama, put his hand on the mic real quick or whatever, and I was just like, yes.
Well, and the thing is, I think that's where Hillary Clinton failed. Is she chose that dingbat from Virginia?
I don't remember who it was.
I can't remember his name right now. And I thought to myself, how could you do that? I mean, if you're the smartest woman in politics at the time, how could you choose some no-name?
Yeah.
Like literally, you're a part of a power couple in that party. How could you choose him?
The other thing I was thinking is
good. Our audience is dropping. Politics with Luke and Rory.
Yeah, that's all right. It gives us a vent to let it on. Yeah, the vice president thing is always important. I honestly think that the Democrats missed the boat this year. I think hindsight's 20/20, apparently, obviously. So if they were smart, they would have pulled Biden last year and said, "Hey, this isn't working."
Yeah, you're not running.
And gone with Bobby Kennedy. Like when Kennedy was still saying, like, "Hey, I want to be on the Democrat." Like he wanted to go oppose Biden on the Democrat, and then the Democrats was like, "No, this is our nominee," because now you have this Kennedy situation where Kennedy, even though he's got some ideas that you're like, "Oh man, clearly too much weed in the 70s, bro." Like, but he's pulling votes from both sides, and I really think if they would have run somebody like Kennedy, just the name alone, Kennedy family, and then some of his ideas crazy enough to pull from both sides, and then everyone that has those bumper stickers that says "vote blue" no matter what, like he probably would have had a really good shot at winning. He would have made me, if that was between Trump and him, I would have had to, really. It was funny. I had a family member last week. I won't out them. But they told me Bobby Kennedy's crazy. And I said, really? Like, have you really looked up what he's all about?
And they said, oh, no, not really. So they looked him up and like, oh.
Yeah.
Well, I kind of agree with that, and I kind of agree with that, and I kind of agree. Okay, now that's crazy, and that's crazy, but I agree with that.
Why do you think he's crazy? Because CNN told me he
CNN
was.
told me so.
Yeah, MSNBC. Because Rachel Maddow said he was.
Right.
Yeah. Maddie says, I feel like Trump's options are limited for VP. He's kind of tweeted about all options poorly.
Yeah.
Him and the too much time on TV and reality TV. He's always trying to like do this like marketing ploy. I think he's got a lot of good options. I just think you just need to be quiet and then just announce it versus all these like cryptic.
So what are we hearing? We're hearing J.D. Vance. We're hearing Marco Rubio. And there's some other dude.
Tim Scott?
Not as much. I'm really surprised. There's a dude from South Dakota. I can't remember his name.
I was really surprised that we're not hearing Tim Scott anymore. I'm really surprised that we weren't hearing more of Vivek early on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Tim Scott would be a home run. I really
think so
do.
too.
I think that would be the best play to make right there.
I do too. I like that move.
And I can tell you, I got one reason why.
I know why you got it.
Yeah.
You don't need to say it.
No, I don't need to say it, but it's just like that'll shut that segment of the media up.
Well, there'll be a whole, there'll definitely be hold on. Crap. Now we can't say.
Right. Now we can't say this.
Now we can't say he's racist. Whatever. We can't use that. Yeah.
Oh, gosh.
I mean.
Oh, okay. But finish your thought.
Fair enough, though. Like, it's so funny because I know I'll have some liberal friends be like, I can't believe you would play the race card. Oh, really? You mean like they played the race female card for Harris 4 years ago constantly? Like, oh, it's okay for you, but not for me. They're freaking double standard. You literally
had a better female option in Tulsi Gabbard in 2020.
Yeah.
You truly did. Think about that for a second. He brings Tulsi Gabbard on as his VP in the election of 2020.
Yeah.
Brings her on. Now she's in the catbird seat, and everybody's like, bro, you're not even going to run for president. We're going to bring her up to here, and we're going to bring. You missed an opportunity. Oh my gosh. Okay, so here's the last point I really wanted to bring up in all this. We told you guys the media is full of shit. We told you. We've been telling you for 4+
And if
years.
there's one thing y'all should know about Luke and Rory is we know. We know these things.
That's
Very
right.
smart.
That's right. Because of the coffee from Electric Coffee House. It makes us smart.
Hilditch said, when did we decide that formal debate was something that a president needed to do well at? I get the point. I actually, Matt, to be fair, I don't think I think the formal debate thing became a huge thing in like the 70s. You're talking television.
Yep.
So prior to me even being born, I don't need a president to do that well. I need him to stay awake on stage though.
Right.
That's the thing. That's the one thing I've been talking about with Biden, and is it wasn't so much absolutely.
You're welcome, Quantrell.
It wasn't so much of whether he did well or not. I don't care about that because I'm going to go fact check everything anyways. Yeah. So I don't care because I got friends that can talk a big game but then can't score the basketball. Like you can say whatever you want, right? That had nothing to do with that night. What had everything to do with that night is I was seeing this man on stage that reminded me of my dwindling grandfather in the twilight of his dementia and Alzheimer's, and seeing the same things that I saw in my grandfather as he began to go down that. And that is what mattered to me, and will always matter to me. Like I don't care about anything else. You can't. I mean, I do, but I'm saying you cannot put somebody up on the world stage that continues to fall asleep on stage. The man fell asleep at the D-Day celebration in France on stage and had to be walked off the stage by his wife. And they cut the cameras at the debate. And if you were paying attention, they saw it afterwards. It floated around the next day. Trump walked off stage right the way he'd come in, and Dr. Joe Biden had to go up on stage and take the president by the arm as he took each step one by painstakingly one all the way down. It's not about whether he does well or not. The man is not healthy. And that is not okay. And for anybody voting for him, honestly, you're part of the problem. You're literally pushing, in my mind, and I love you, Matt. I think I know where you're voting, and that's fine. I love you no matter what. But watching what happened to my grandfather and how sad that was, and for people to be continually voting to put this elderly man who's clearly not got a grasp of all of his marbles through another 4 years when he should be chilling up at Camp Med, having a great time, playing golf every day if he wants to or whatever, is very, very off-putting and sad. Like, it just is. It's just very off-putting and sad. Can you imagine your grandfather being that way and being like, I'm tired, and you're just like, yeah, I don't care. Like, they literally had to change the rules after that. Like, that came out 2 weeks ago or a week and a half ago. They had to change the rules. They said that they're changing everything so that Biden cannot literally be up past 8 o'clock. I get it. Like, I get tired too after 8 o'clock. But what if World War III breaks out at 11 p.m.? Do we tell everyone to wait until the president can wake up in the morning?
What time zone are we using?
Yeah, I know. Like, I just, like, that's not how the world works when you're the president.
Well, I want to go back to what Matt said here. And it's important to me because if America truly is, what is it, the shining light, the beacon on the hill?
That's what we're supposed to be.
If the president of America is the leader of the free world, if we are who we say we are, it matters. And what the world saw up on the stage on that debate was that it's chaos.
Well, yeah.
It's chaos in DC right now. There's nobody that is actually leading the country.
My buddy in Denmark, who, by the way, is a lawyer and he is now a judge, and he is diehard liberal. He texted me this day and he was like, and he was a huge anti-Trump guy. And he's like, and he was an exchange student here. He loves America. He pays attention to our politics, especially being in the political arena in Denmark. He texted me the next day and he was like, this is sad.
Yeah.
Someone's got to pull this. Like Trump, not like Trump. This man can't go on for.
Right.
He's like, there's no way this should be allowed.
You know, and before you start typing in there, because I got a feeling this is going to come next from you. It matters with Trump too.
Yeah.
And Trump doesn't get a pass. I felt like a train's going by. I felt like that debate night, all Trump had to do was answer the question and shut up. That's literally all he had to do, and it would have been a landslide of a debate.
You know what was sad about it is that, do you remember back like in prior debates sometimes? Like, honestly, like, think about all the debates we've watched.
Good morning, Sam.
I always felt like I was watching. I would literally always felt like I was watching two people, regardless of whether I agreed with them or not, that were smarter than me.
Yeah.
That I had to be like, oh, is that true? Like, and they would give like poignant answers or statistics, like, oh, studies show that since my presidency, such and such is down 17.5%. And I'm like, really? Like, oh yeah, that's true or not true or whatever.
Right.
Neither one of them had any statistics, any studies, any articles that they could point to. It was just a big, no, that's not true. Since I did this, it's been better. Like that. I mean, it would just be like that. Like, it would be like if someone was like, hey, I wanted to use you guys to sell my house, but I want Rory because he's better. And I was like, well, that's not true. I'm better. Like, and you were like, no, I'm better. No, I'm better. Like, that's what it felt like to me for both of them.
Yeah. And what was the most irritating thing to me is, like you said, they both were up there just, and I don't know if you can call it lies. It's not propaganda. They're exaggerating. They're in the moment,
sugarcoating, glazing over.
Yeah. And so when you have Trump say, I gave the best economy ever to Biden, or we had the best economy when he was president. No, we didn't have the best economy. We had exaggerations.
There, that's a good one, Brett.
Yep. We had a good economy, but it wasn't the best economy.
No.
And then when Biden says, well, I was given the worst economy. No, you weren't given the worst economy. We've had the worst economy. So
it's called the Great Depression. You should remember it well, dude.
So it's that kind of stuff that irritates the hell out of me, is stop with those exaggerations. Because I lived between 2016 and 2020.
Man, right. I'm not an idiot.
Right. I know what the economy was like for my family. I know what the economy was like for our business. I was there. I lived through that stuff.
Yeah.
And for you to tell me, well, you just don't.
The problem is half the American people are that stupid.
Oh, my word.
Carry on. Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you got people like I said, like Joy Reid, who will vote for Joe Biden even if he's comatose. And there's people out there who say, I will vote for Donald Trump no matter what. I feel like at this moment, I really want to see who's going to be the VP. But I feel like at this moment, I'm going to vote for Trump and hold the old hold your nose thing.
Oh yeah,
because that's not who I
so you
want.
Can't taste it going down.
Right. I don't want him as president, but I don't want Biden either.
I just can't figure out how we continue to find I can't figure out, but just the fact that we continue to find ourselves in the position where these are our best options. Like, of all, how many people are in America? 3 billion?
300 million.
300 million, sorry. Yeah. It's like 7 billion
Actually,
in the world.
375 million.
So 375 million people in our country, and these are our top viable candidates. These are the best options to run the free world.
And we've said before, no matter who wins, they're going to be handed a turd sandwich next year.
Yeah, get your poop in a group there, buddy.
Yeah.
It's going to be rough.
Put your eggs into a hole. Or no, that doesn't make any sense. Put your nut.
Careful. My daughter's watching.
I'm gonna pass out. No, sit back. Don't pass out.
Yeah.
Woo!
Here's my fear, though.
Take your supply and put it in
fear.
Storage. There we go.
I guess this is an honest question I have.
Brett says neither side is providing a quality candidate for the people. It's all power the party. Yeah, nailed it.
My biggest concern right now, and throw everything out, and it boils down to one phrase: cost of living.
Yeah,
that is my biggest concern right now, and that's what's influencing my vote the most.
Yeah,
is I'll be honest with you, I cannot take another 4 years trending in the same direction that we have been the last 4 years.
No, the last 4 years have been tough.
My family, my pocketbook cannot take another 4 years. And at the end of the day, you can say whatever you want. I'm just looking at the statistics.
Yep.
Statistics do not lie. And gas prices are up. Inflation is crazy up. The housing industry is ridiculous with the rates and everything, and rates are stabilizing, which is good. But the cost of groceries, like the fact that it costs me like $600 a week to buy groceries for a family, is insane. Like, you see people posting receipts of things that they bought 4 years ago and then the exact same thing now.
Oh yeah,
and it's 2 to 4 times more expensive.
I've seen that.
It's sad. It's absolutely disgusting. And I don't care whether you're liberal or conservative. If that doesn't play into your voting this November, if you can't look at your fellow man and be like, they're freaking struggling right now in this economy, and I have to take that into consideration. I need to. If I care about people, if I'm going to say I'm a Christian or a Catholic or just anybody who cares about my fellow man, we cannot continue to go this direction. We just can't. Like, I can remember during the pandemic, this is what he said. This great thing from Brett. That's what happens when you print money.
Yep.
I was in Mexico with the family on that vacation.
Yep.
When they announced that they were going to hand out money.
Yeah.
And I told you, I said, God, dude, I don't want it. And I did the math. I was like, I'm going to get $7,000.
Yeah. And
I was like, but I don't want it because I know what this means in the long run.
Yeah.
And I remember vividly, I am flying on a plane back from Cabo San Lucas with the family to Seattle, and I get a notification on my phone that I just had $7,000 deposited in my account, and I was just like, damn it. Like, I wasn't excited, I wasn't whatever, I just put my phone down, and I
wasn't going to turn the money away.
No.
I'm not a dumbass. If we're all going to sink together.
Let's not go too far.
But yeah, I said that to the family. I said, this is not going to be good.
Yeah.
If you're just going to give people money, that's going to cause businesses to raise their prices. And I'm not a guy who thinks evil corporations. I'm a guy who thinks corporations look at dollars and cents. They look at the bottom line. And if there's a lot of money coming into the market, well, why wouldn't you try and make more money? Because if corporations make more money, they can invest it in their business, they can grow, and they got shareholders to answer to.
4 years ago, I would say for both of us, I know for me, I was living comfortably on our income.
We were making good middle class money, And we were able to put money into retirement
Yep.
funds. We were able to put money into savings, put money into vacation
Essentially
funds.
doing the same thing 4 years later. It is tight.
Oh yeah,
Like, and if it goes up,
we're being completely frank with you
and
guys
if it
right now.
grows exponentially at the same rate that it has been for the last 4 years, I'll lose the house, the car, the family, everything. Like, it can't go this direct. It just can't.
Careful, you're sounding like a capitalist. I know. That's my
dude.
uncle.
I know.
He's not wrong.
He's not wrong. Darn it, Brett.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. If we continue down this path, then whoever wants to destroy America, because the thing is, we can't be alone, you guys. There's no way.
Well,
we've talked. Here's the thing. We've talked to other agents. We know.
Oh yeah.
We know what it's like out there right now, and we're trying to put a sunshine on this storm right now.
Which
we know we're not
is,
alone.
Is how many people too, just in the world. Like, example, when everything broke out with Ukraine, and like we were there to help, right? And I'll be honest, like I was like, yeah, we got to help. Like we got to jump in and help, right? But that expiration date has passed. Oops, it's Thursday. I was busy watching Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. Start over.
You got to tell me what you think about that. Ryan and I went and saw that in the movie.
Hey, by
theater.
the way, I am about Paul. I don't know if you read the abridged or unabridged version of The Stand. I decided to go full on, so it's 47 hours and it's almost 48 hours, like 47 hours and 40 minutes. And I am now 18 hours into it.
Bro, that's longer than it.
Yeah. And I'm going to tell you what. It's got me. It's a hook, line, and sinker.
Always unabridged.
Absolutely. Yes, sir. I'm on chapter 44. I'm where Larry has recently met
The cable guy?
Nadine Cross, and they are traveling with Joe. And they just came to Algonquin, and yeah, it's so good, dude. Anyways, laws, yes, absolutely. So anyway,
But yeah, that's the
but
honest.
I was watching, like 3 years ago with the whole Ukraine thing. I was like, yeah, it's good to help. Can't just let Russia come in and bully whoever they want. But now, everything's got to have an expiration on it. And we have essentially just written Ukraine a blank check. And every so often, the comedian makes an appearance on television or comes over here. By comedian, you know who I mean, the president of Ukraine, because those of you who don't know, he was a comedian. and we just are like, oh, you need $90 million more dollars? Here you go. Where's the money coming from? Like, you want to yell at each other about national debt, and you're just blank checking some country in Ukraine, Russia. Like, at what point do you just put your foot down and say, hey, we can't be everyone's savior all the time? Like, and then by the way,
Oh dear.
For that jackass, that old man, and maybe he just can't remember, to go on stage and say no military members have died on his watch.
Oh yeah.
After all my Marine brothers got their asses handed to them, and half of them and then there's a bunch more that are missing legs and arms because of your jackassery and pulling out over there without a solid plan. And you're going to have the balls to go up there in front of all those Gold Star families and say, no one's died on my watch. Oh, dude, I was so disgusted.
Oh, one of the wives got on social media and just ripped into him.
I immediately got into my Facebook, like Marine Corps only, like pages and stuff. You have to be, or veteran only pages. And it was ungodly amounts of just disgust. And I was like, how dare you disrespect, just spit in the face of all those Gold Star families that are missing brothers, sons, sisters, wives, husbands, parents, because of your idiot move, and act like nothing happened. Like, if nothing, I could have been thinking about possibly voting for the man, and when he did that, all decency was out the window. Like, it was disgusting.
Yeah.
Absolutely disgusting. It was the one part of the whole thing that pissed me off.
Yeah.
Like, the rest of it I can deal with. Anyways.
Brett says, do you remember the Cold War? Oh yeah, I remember the Cold War. War. That was my formative years.
Matt, we were just talking about this because he said, appreciate your perspectives, whether agreed or not. Unfortunately, we all have been watching our president vote. Doesn't matter. Electoral college sucks. And I actually I'm on the flip side. Matt, you and I just got to get together and like talk politics one day face to face because I know it'd be a good
You
conversation.
might want to talk to him about the electoral college.
Yeah,
because I don't know
collage.
the electoral
Collage.
Of course, to be fair, I do say the electrical.
Yeah.
The electrical college. So
I don't know if you were on earlier when I said I actually love the electoral college. So, huge fan.
Paul says this way we get to test our weapons against Russia's, also letting Russia know not to test us.
Yeah.
So I'm going to share something with you that either you know or you don't know, and either you know
Usually
or you don't know. Is that did you know that there was peace on the table before Russia went into Ukraine? And Boris Johnson from the UK at the last minute said, hold on a second. Under America's watch, said, hold on a second. We don't want to do peace. No. I'm paraphrasing. You know that's still on the table with the European Union. The European Union has a new president.
Yeah.
It's still on the table. And he is on audio being interviewed by a podcaster out of all people. And he's saying peace is still on the table. Why are we not talking about peace? And to go back to Brett's point, do you remember the Cold War? Yeah. I don't want to go to war.
Yeah.
I don't want young kids to go to war. I don't want your daughter to go to war because they're going to change it and have select service for ladies as well.
Yeah.
I don't want war. I want peace. And I just can't quite understand why we haven't tried for peace. You never hear that.
Yeah.
You always hear about another check, more arms to Ukraine, more this, more that. I mean, it's a freaking Paul said it. It's a freaking proxy war with Russia.
Yeah.
We did this with Afghanistan.
Yeah.
We did this with North Korea and South Korea. We did this with Vietnam.
Yeah.
Enough already.
Okay. When will we learn?
Listen, it's not all boomers. It's not all boomers. Would you boomers stop having a hard-on over Russia?
Way to go, John Lennon.
Would you stop it already? I understand nobody liked Russia when you guys were growing up. And we were there for the Cold War as kids. We were there. We get it. We understand. But this seemed like there was a time, late 90s, 2000s, it seemed like there was a time where we were all could find a way to get along.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, Putin's evil. And I'm not saying Putin is a good guy. I'm not saying that.
Yeah.
But I sure as hell don't like war. I don't learn from your history. World War One, World War II.
That is, and Brett, your Uncle Brett's spot on. That's the one issue with this is the peace deal right now that's on the table. And I did read about this, means they get to keep everything they took so far in the Ukraine, Russia. That's what they're saying.
But the funny thing is that's what they were asking for beforehand.
I know.
Which again, it's like brokering. I know it's on a bigger level, but it's like brokering a real estate deal.
Yeah.
Not everybody's going to get what they want, but everybody's going to get something.
You know what I don't understand? Why? Well, I do understand it, but it's just dumb. Is we are heels in the ground over in the Ukraine to fight.
Paul's right. In 1985, we all assumed we died in a nuclear holocaust. Absolutely, dude. Yeah. As I was a 10-year-old, right?
I still think it's possible. So, but anyways, our heels are dug in over there in the Ukraine because we don't want to give in to Putin or whatever.
Hey, Heidi's here.
I know, I love
Heidi
Barton, dude. And Heidi has she's got a son in the military right now.
I really don't want war. The thought of all three of my kids being eligible scares me. Absolutely. Yeah. The only thing that gives me peace right now, and it's not that I don't want my kids to serve, is I don't want them to serve under asshat leadership. And fortunately, my one son can't serve because he's got iron in his leg, and my other son can't go to battle because he's got autism.
Yeah.
So I mean, he could find a way to serve, but he wouldn't be in harm's way per se.
Right.
And again, it's not that I wouldn't want my kids to serve. I just don't want them to serve for something that is not.
I don't want my kids to serve under a man who botched the pullout in Afghanistan so badly that we have a bunch more unnecessary Gold Star families.
Protect the homeland, and then protect those in need.
That juxtaposition between we were fine with just pulling out of Afghanistan and saying F it and letting all hell break loose, but yet we're gonna have our heels dug in over over in the Ukraine, it just blows my mind. Like,
Yes.
I don't understand. I mean, I do and I don't, but it's
I'm guessing America found a way to manufacture heroin, and they didn't need the poppies anymore.
Oh, dude, Air America, man. Yeah.
That'll get me canceled.
All right.
Paul says, why does Ukraine have to give up anything? Israel has given up so much, allowed so much, being good neighbors, allowed Palestinians in their government, and they keep getting screwed.
War, yeah. Brett says war is inevitable somewhere all the time because extreme views take hold. Look at our politics internally today. The moderates are not in control. Power mongers everywhere. Spot on, Uncle Brett. Spot on.
Yeah. And I'm going to probably say something might be a little controversial. I was listening to one of my podcasts I listened to this morning, and they had somebody on there that was talking about they had recently taken a trip to London, and they said everything that they expected and anticipated to be of London, of British, of that tradition, all that. They said one of the main areas is now so overrun with Muslim ideology, Muslim translations, Muslim all this. And I'm not picking on Muslims, so please don't come after me. But there is a sense of you're losing your heritage, you're losing your traditions. It's okay to come into the country, but I mean, this is what London is like.
I always
this
think
is what
about
Great Britain is
I always think about like when I go, like example, that guy that just gave that speech in Minnesota last week about Minnesota doesn't matter, it's Somalians that matter, Somalian rule, voting for Illa, whatever her name is, and all that. Like whenever I have visited a foreign country, just example, when I went to, like talking about Mexico earlier, when I go to Mexico, dude, I try to fit in, bro. Like, how do you guys do things? I try to be, like, how does this work? When I was in Norway, same thing. Like, how does this work? How do I go? What do I say here? What is the correct custom? This is your country. I'm a visitor.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, even if, look out, I thought we were all going to die.
I know. It sounds like somebody who's dying.
even if I'm going to move to that country, I'm going to try to adjust.
Right.
To their culture.
Well, we've talked about it here. When people started moving from California to Texas, and Texans were saying, this is Texas. Don't come here to try to change our way of life. Yeah. You moved here because we're Texas.
Yeah. The curry is amazing. Yeah, true. But it's just that for me. Like, I feel like you should be respectful of another country's culture, their climate, their way of doing things, their traditions, their history. Welcome.
Yeah.
Welcome. But adapt.
Yeah.
I know people come after me when I say that. Like, you racist son of a... And I'm
no, I mean, this is how... Even if I went to England, let's say before they had their big immigration push there, even if I went to England, I'm going to do things their way because I'm in their country. And even if I became a citizen, I became a citizen because I want to be like them in their country.
Yeah, I like your way of doing things.
Right.
I'm going to adapt. Yeah. Not try to overrun and overrule. Yeah.
Racist. Can't even hang
I've been called worse, dude. I don't know what's worse.
And that was this morning by me.
Yeah, I don't know what. And my wife.
That was well deserved.
Yeah, probably.
Okay.
Anyway, what else? We went really off the edge there.
Well, we can talk about Mariners, but they're falling apart.
They're doing better the last few days.
Back
to America.
I think it's my fault. I mean, I'll get on my ESPN app and go, I wonder how they're doing. Oh, wow, they're kicking ass. And I look up a couple days later. Oh, man. What is going on? Okay.
What have I done? Yeah. Why? What have I done here? They got the Mariners going on. They're finally starting to do a little bit. Logan Gilbert's going to the All-Star game. Well deserved. It's about time for young Master Gilbert. Trying to think. We were talking about movie blockbusters. Oh, you know what I did last night?
Go ahead.
So Maddie and I had about an hour and a half, 2 hours of unadulterated time last night. Where Lainey was at her mom's house. I'll talk about Lainey real quick. Lainey leaves in the morning for Italy and Greece for almost 2 weeks. And I'm so excited for the trip that she's taking and the history she's going to get. She's going to the Vatican. She's going to St. Peter's Basilica. She's got to wear certain clothing when she goes to the Vatican to be,
church. Sorry, not normal Protestant church attire.
You got to dress up a little bit.
Catholic church attire.
So I told her, I said, it was so funny because I was like, hey, this isn't going to happen. But in the off chance you ran into the Pope or somebody of like esteem, a cardinal or whatever, she's like, oh my gosh, what would I even do? And I'm like, I'm pretty sure if I remember Rory correctly, and if you were approached by someone like that, I think you just bow your heads and cross, and they will give you a blessing, and it's like a sign of respect. And she goes, okay, I can do that.
Yeah.
I was like,
yeah.
So she's like, okay. But anyways, yeah, so she's got this big trip coming up. So she went to her mom's last night, spent some time with her mom before she leaves tomorrow morning because I'm taking her to the airport and stuff, or bright and early. She could be there at 4 or something. But I had like 2 hours of unadulterated time with Maddie because Lainey wasn't there and the kids were at VBS with Rach. And Maddie and I, we haven't had time like that in a while, whatever. And we're like, oh, what do we do? We're kind of sitting on the couch, and I had my computer open, so we started. Maddie and I have what's the word I'm looking for? We really meet in the middle on music. We love the same kind of music. She loves the stuff I loved. And so we spent almost 2 hours playing different 90s, rock and grunge and country songs.
Okay.
And then I just thought to myself, I'm like, man, how great was the 90s music-wise? When I really started looking at it, I was like, the 90s hip-hop and rap, fire. The 90s pop, fire. The 90s grunge rock scene, fire. The pop scene, country scene, all of it was just so fun. I'm like, what a great decade of music the 90s was, no matter what kind of music you were into. And so we must have listened to, I don't even know, 100, 150 songs, just skipping on to the next one. I'm like, oh, do you know this one? And I got to tell you, if she's still on here, Maddie has become quite the music buff, and I love it. I would throw some random stuff on there, like Barely Breathing by Duncan Sheik, and she was like, oh, I know this. This is Barely Breathing, Duncan Sheik. And I'm like, amazing. It was a lot of fun. 80s were good, too. 80s were good, too, Paul.
80s were good.
I don't remember the 80s. I'm not that old, but...
Well, along the same lines, so last night we finished doing different family activities, and I was trying to think, well, maybe I'm going to go to bed. Maybe I'll go to bed a little bit early tonight, da-da-da-da. And all of a sudden I hear Ryan say, oh, my gosh. And I'm like, what? He goes, Rocky 3 is available on Prime.
Yes.
And I'm like, okay, I got to stay up now.
The next 2 hours.
The boy wants to watch this. So we
started the fool.
Oh, my gosh. I have not seen Rocky 3 in a long time.
It's a good one.
Rocky 4 makes so much more sense in the montage.
Yes.
By watching Rocky 3
Clubber Lang.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
And realizing I haven't seen Rocky 3 in a long time, so I didn't realize that Rocky had basically lost his mojo after Mickey died.
Yeah.
And so it was really cool to watch it. And bro,
the great thing about Rocky,
getting hit in the head so many times. I get it. You're trying to wear down Clubber Lane, but bro, getting hit in the head so many times and they come back like, is that all? Is that all? It's like, dude, that's why you're broke as hell in Rocky 5. Spoiler alert.
The great thing about the Rocky movies is one, zero defense played. Let's just tee off on each other until someone goes down.
I know.
Which doesn't really happen.
Rocky 4, is that the one where they go back in time and save the whale?
Yes. Yes.
I can't faint.
Yeah.
Don't allow me to faint.
Yes. Did you ever see Rocky Balboa?
Number 6.
Yeah.
I think I have, but it's been a long time.
You should.
Yeah. I think we're gonna catch Rocky 4 again, which I think Rocky 4 is the best. I love Rocky 4.
Well, there you go with the whole Russia thing, right? Cold War. But man, Scam, my homeboy Scam Likely, dude, always blowing me up. The great thing about the Rocky movies, though, I think the best is that Americans are weird in the sense that we love to build people up and then tear them down. We love to build people up and tear them down.
Oh yeah,
we've talked about this recently. It was like Tom Brady. We loved Tom Brady in the beginning, the underdog, and then we were like, all right, can this guy get hit by a passing truck? And then at the end we're like, do it for the old man. I mean, we're just weird like that. But is there any better example of the comeback story? In every movie, there's an amazing comeback story. The first one, he just loses.
Yep.
And then the second one, come back, to beat Apollo. The third one, he loses and then comes back.
Gets knocked out.
Yeah. The fourth one, you lose your best friend and all this, and then you come back and do your thing. Then the fifth one, then the sixth one says, I mean, it's just this constant like, like, and I just think as Americans, we love it.
I haven't seen any of the Creed movies, and I was telling Ryan, we watched a trailer for the first one last night. I told Ryan, I said, we're going to have to watch these too, because I've heard that at least the first couple are good, but we'll have to check them out. So Paul is correct. Dolph Lundgren hit Sylvester Stallone so hard that he had to go to the hospital. He's absolutely correct about the Go Cougs part. Did you know that Dolph Lundgren?
Yeah.
He was a Coug.
He was a Coug.
Oh, excuse me.
Yeah.
1980, Lake Placid, not 1880. Miracle on Ice. Bro, that is a good movie. And obviously reality is great, but the Miracle on Ice movie, that is so good. Yeah, Brett got it right. 1980.
Yeah.
Best comeback win ever. The F epitome of the Cold War power shift. Yep. Yeah. What are some great underdog movies? I still haven't seen The Boys in the Boat. It's right there. I've got it saved on Prime. I need to watch it. I totally understand.
So good. The book is so phenomenal.
Yeah.
Like I said, though, if you haven't read the book, the movie's good too. But
I know what else. Another good comeback movie is Avengers Endgame. No,
this guy.
Yeah, Endgame. Yeah, Endgame.
What's your favorite? What's some of your favorite sports movies of all time? Let's start naming some great sports movies. Remember the Titans?
Field of Dreams.
Remember the Titans?
I love the book, and I like the movie.
Yeah,
but that's always what happens.
I love Remember the Titans. I cry every time
what about We Are Marshall
walks in. You know what's funny? I think it's underrated. I think it's good. I think it's underrated.
Yeah.
Obviously, like For Love of the Game, Costner was good. Dude, The Natural with Robert Redford.
Yeah. I watched that about a year or two ago. Again, I haven't seen that.
Sandlot.
I haven't seen The Sandlot. Can you believe that? I've never seen The Sandlot.
What the?
You're killing me, Smalls.
How can we even have a conversation?
Oh, good morning, Drew. Rudy is a great one.
Rudy is one.
Yeah, Rudy is
Miracle
really
on Ice is phenomenal.
Miracle on Ice.
Any
She trips and hits her head skating, loses her eyesight. Then the great comeback and trips on the roses.
Which one, Heidi? She said love that movie. Which one?
I don't
Say
know
it again.
Yeah,
we just named like 10 of them. Miracle on Ice. Oh, God. It's just Paul being Paul. Dude.
Okay. I just want to make sure.
Yeah. I never saw the Nancy Kerrigan, Tonya Harding one, but I heard it's really good.
You know what was a fun movie, not necessarily a tearjerker, was Every Given Sunday or Any Given Sunday, which you got Jamie Foxx and you've got Al Pacino and who's the one dude? Who's the white guy in it?
That narrowed it down.
No, the main dude. He's like the aging quarterback. Dennis
O'Leary?
No,
Dennis Leary?
he's gonna play Ronald Reagan in a movie's coming out.
Dennis.
Oh, Quaid. Dennis Quaid. Yeah. Moneyball is a good one too.
Hey, Dennis Quaid
Mystery
also.
Alaska.
Mystery Alaska is a great movie, Drew.
Oh, I don't know if I've seen.
Oh, dude, Russell Crowe. It's about a hockey town in Alaska. It's really good.
Russell Crowe. I'll have to watch it.
You got to watch it.
Speaking of movies, have you seen the trailer for the
Moneyball? Good.
Have you seen the trailer for the new Gladiator movie?
Yeah, stoked.
I'm excited to see it.
Yeah, I am too.
Mr. Dittmer, good morning, Coach. Link, good morning to you all.
Absolutely. Hey, congrats on your former
CJ Allen
track star making it to the Olympics. North Mason in the house.
You know, I did watch his post-race interview, and he didn't give the Bulldogs any love, but he gave the Cougars love.
He gave Allen love, the town of Allen.
Oh, I didn't hear that. I must not listen long enough.
Talk about being from a small town of 2,000 people and how much support he's gotten from them.
That's awesome. Yeah. Well, go Bulldogs. I almost said dogs.
Yeah. I'm on this whole sports movie thing. Said the same. Oh, what was the one with Dennis Quaid where he's the pitcher? Where he comes back? He's a rookie that makes his debut when he's like 40 years old.
Oh, yes. And that's based on a true story.
Yeah, that is true story.
Dude was a teacher, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was a coach. Bad News Bears is speaking of coaches.
CJ's going to Paris. That's right.
What was that? I have it at home.
CJ Allen.
Yeah.
Bulldog, Cougar.
Connection.
Going to Paris. I love it.
Yeah. There's some good sports movies. There's also some good Teen Wolf. I love Teen Wolf, dude.
You know what? I wanted to watch Teen Wolf with the kids.
Yeah.
But I haven't seen it in a long time. But what I remember from it as a prepubescent boy, I don't know if I can have my kids watch
Way to skip a scene or two. I think, Rory, you got to also remember now that your kids are all pretty much adults.
I know. I'm trying to protect them for the world.
Rory's hilarious. Like,
did you?
He'll have Jess over, and he's like, "Sorry, Jess, this is PG-13. We can't."
Well, we won't get into the weeds of this, but listening to my podcast this morning, they had reports on how the Pride Parade went in San Francisco.
Oh yeah.
If you've got the stomach, look it up. But I heard, oh my gosh! So that's why I'm trying to protect
the rookie.
Thank you,
Brett.
Thank
that's
you.
A good one.
Best in Show.
It be okay for naked men to be standing around in
So I love Best in Show.
Great movie, dude.
Best in Show.
The mockumentary,
the one where it's like beautiful. What was it? What is
all those documentaries are great.
What is the quote where the guy says all these beautiful furry bitches or something?
Oh, yeah. Then there's some sports movies that are completely
Goon. Yes.
Oh,
Goon is a good one.
I'm thinking of Dodgeball. I'm thinking of Blades of Glory.
Dodgeball.
What was that like early '90s figure skating one where the girl was like toe pick all the time? She had the hockey player that became her.
Oh, I think that's what Paul was kind of trying to get at.
Yeah. I think so too.
Yeah, it's like some kind of something. It was where the dude was a hockey player, but he couldn't play hockey anymore.
Oh, we're skipping two things like Happy Gilmore.
Oh,
yeah,
Happy Gilmore. Yes.
Yeah. Oh, Bobby Boucher. Remember the time Bobby Boucher, the water boy, dude.
Talladega Nights.
Shake and bake.
Is that a cougar in the car? You know
Control your heartbeat.
I need to watch that one with Ryan.
Control your heartbeat. I'm trying, but there's a cougar in the car.
Cutting edge. Thank you, Drew.
What does my wife say? She's watching and probably telling us that we're losing our mind.
Drew says that's all right. Jacob and I watched Beavis and Butthead last night.
Oh man.
Yeah, I think if Christy and Bella were out of the house, maybe.
That's hilarious.
Ice Castles. That does sound familiar. I'm trying to think any other sports movies that I'm sure I'm missing one. Tin Cup. Tin Cup was pretty good. Of course, Major League.
Major League was good. Yeah, Major League.
Which basically, Ted Lasso is Major League on the pitch. Because the owner of the team is trying to torpedo the season.
Yeah. It's Ted Lasso.
Oh, yeah, it's the same thing.
Major League, Angels in the outfield, Rookie of the Year.
But it's Shark Week. It's already Shark Week on Discovery Channel?
I love.
I thought that wasn't until
August. The original
August.
Rollerball? Absolutely.
Bro, I haven't seen that.
Dude. Any given Sunday.
Ryan and I watched The Running Man last week.
Replacements. Oh, The Running Man, yeah.
Oh my gosh. Talk about 80s cheese. This is like the quintessential Arnold Schwarzenegger one-liner movie. And Ryan's like, he's got all these puns and one-liners. Yeah, this is where it began.
Can I tell you about a movie you need to watch, dude?
What's that?
And this isn't sports, but it just hit me all of a sudden. And this is why it hit me. Because I was thinking of sports movies.
Bull Durham,
great movie.
Yeah.
Goonies is a phenomenal movie. One of my all-time favorites. I was just thinking about this because I was thinking of the Prefontaine movie that has
I haven't seen that either.
It's good. Who's the star of that one? It's I'm gonna tell you
Quicksand? Yeah, Running Man was based on a Stephen King novel.
Who's
Inside Out 2?
Oh yeah, that just came out.
Yeah.
Billy Crudup. Billy Crudup played Prefontaine.
Oh, I like him.
Yeah.
I like him as an actor.
He did a movie a while ago that I watched. It's 10 years old now, but I watched it on a whim because it came on. And I like Billy Crudup. And it was called Rudderless. Like a rudder on a boat. Rudderless. I can't tell you too much about the movie because it will spoil.
Okay.
But you're 15 minutes into it before you have this, oh dear God. And it's beautifully sad and triumphant, and it forces you to look at something from a different point of view that you would never think of.
Okay.
I don't think you would, and it's Rudderless with Billy Crudup. I've watched it like twice now or 3 times now.
Oh, how did we forget that one?
So good.
Brian's Song.
Oh, Brian's Song, great. Yeah, absolutely.
Now, a movie that's not a sports movie that's coming out in just a couple weeks that I literally feel dirty for wanting to go see, which I shouldn't feel dirty, but Deadpool and Wolverine.
Oh, yeah.
Like, have you seen Deadpool?
Yeah.
So when I walked out of Deadpool, I felt like I needed a shower because I felt so dirty from laughing at all the inappropriate jokes.
Yeah.
Like I'm thinking, oh, I'm going to be going to confession for like 10 years after watching Deadpool.
Yeah.
With that said, I'm excited to go see Deadpool in Wolverine just from the trailers I've seen, the other things I've seen. I've seen Hugh Jackman and Ryan Reynolds doing interviews together.
Yeah.
I'm so excited.
Problem with Deadpool is like my son sees my son sees like Deadpool and is like, oh, like superhero, like I want to see it. I'm like,
no, you don't.
not the same kind of superhero you're used to, buddy. This isn't.
Heidi misses the old X-Men movies better than the Avengers.
Oh, all right. Hey, there's some, people that are diehard on the original X-Men movies, and I get that.
I like the original X-Men because I feel like they went the path of Batman and Batman Returns, where they kept it darker and not cheesy and campy like Batman Forever and Batman and Robin.
It had been a while when the original X-Men came out. I think that since a comic book had made the jump to the cinema successfully.
Yeah, And I like the newer X-Men movie, the first two X-Men movies, the newer X-Men, where they basically are showing how they became the X-Men.
Yeah,
I'm all about a good story. If it's a good story, heck yeah,
absolutely.
If it's a sucky story like Batman and Robin.
Oh my gosh, poor. What's his name? Who played Robin?
Oh, Chris O'Donnell.
Poor Chris O'Donnell.
Which he was a good choice for Robin, but the writing sucked. When you got George Clooney as Batman pulling out his American Express Batman card.
Speaking of Chris O'Donnell, do you remember the Three Musketeers movie with him in?
Yep.
With Oliver Platt and Kiefer Sutherland. By the way, Donald Sutherland.
Yeah, we're a little late, but rest in peace.
Rest in peace, man. I love Donald Sutherland. Did you ever watch Backdraft?
Gosh, a long time ago. Is that the one with Kurt Russell?
Yeah.
That's a good movie.
And Donald Sutherland plays the creepy pyromaniac that's in prison that killed people. He was an arsonist, and he's turned on by the fire. And he's like, "Did Sparky talk to you? Did the flame talk to you?" He's so good, so good.
Greyhound. You know what? I feel like I've seen that, but I need to go watch it again because Apple Plus charged me for another month.
Yeah,
I had to cancel that, so I got 1 month to watch it. Michael Keaton as Batman. Heidi, I absolutely agree. To me, Michael Keaton is Batman in the suit. Batman. Yeah. I don't know about Bruce Wayne.
You don't know about Adam West.
I like Christian Bale as Bruce Wayne.
Yeah,
but I like Michael Keaton as Batman. She says that's classic. Paul says I'll take the Fantastic Four just for Jessica Alba.
Wow,
you're not wrong.
Yeah,
there's a new Fantastic Four coming out. A whole new cast.
Really?
It's gonna have who was it? Pascal. Who's Mandalorian?
Pablo Pascal. Yeah.
Yeah, he's gonna be.
Every time I even hear Pablo Pascal, all I can think about is that meme, whatever, with Nick Cage. Have you seen that?
I'm not sure.
Where Nick Cage is driving, or they're in a car, and it's top down, and Nick Cage he's all irritated, and you look at Pablo Pascal, he's all
I haven't seen that movie. I need to see that.
But it's supposed to be really good. It's got really
Nathan, you're right. The program was a good one too.
Yeah.
Well, if we're gonna go down that road, what about what's that one? What's the one with the Foo Fighters song in it? My Hero. I don't want your life.
Oh, Varsity Blues.
Varsity Blues.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe need a whipped cream
with Dawson, dude. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Donald Sutherland was awesome in Animal House.
Remember what's the big guy in the movie?
Dude, isn't the big guy is that Nathan Suppley?
No.
Oh no, you're right.
What was his name?
Was it Cowboy or something?
Yeah, he died, but
yeah.
You can't be that big.
So
Billy Bob, there it is, Billy Bob.
Yep. The new movie, The Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare, is based on Donald Sutherland unit in World War II. Okay, so Paul, tell me about that movie. Is that a good movie to watch? Because I want to, but I've seen some of the reviews not be really great about it. So yeah, Paul knows about whipped cream.
Paul's all about them.
Yeah,
Paul's a kook. He gets it.
Yeah, he gets it. Yeah, he absolutely gets it.
Oh my gosh! By the way,
what if Paul was to mix Jessica Alba with whipped cream?
All right, stop.
Would he?
My
even be on the
daughter's
show
watching.
anymore?
All right, okay. I saw, and I got to show it to you once we're off. I can't even talk about it. You ever see a bit on like Instagram, whatever, like a reel, and you're like, oh my God, that's so hilarious, but I'm going directly to hell for laughing at this.
Yeah.
So I saw a reel like that today, and I was like, and I had to like watch it, and then I shared it to like Casey and Mike, and I'm like, and then of course they both said the same thing. Oh, we're all going to hell for laughing at this, and I'm like, look, they put it out there knowing that we were going to laugh at this. The two guys that did it, and they're like in comedy and stuff, are from Bainbridge originally, and they both went to WSU, and so. I don't know if you remember this, but there was a guy who fell off a roof at a frat party like in 2017 or 18.
That sounds from WC. That sounds familiar.
Yeah, and he, anyways, he can't talk anymore. He's severely brain damaged, but he can think and all that. But he's got the Stephen Hawking computer thing going on, and that's one of the guys. And then it's his best friend growing up, and his best friend growing up was molested as a child by a friend's father.
Oh.
And nothing is off limits between these two as far as their disabilities and their emotional struggles. That's what the comedy bit is.
Oh, no.
And I'm like,
oh, no.
But I can't.
Yeah, you'll have to show it to me in the parking lot, like in a dark alley.
I'm going to turn it up in here. Put it on the big screen. So anyways, yeah. Good Lord.
All right, he says about the Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare. Yes, loved it, just a bit peculiar.
Don't read the last one.
Don't do it. Yeah, sorry. There we go. There we go.
Yeah. All right, dude. We've been at it for a while. We can do this now. Once we get to movies or music, we can go.
I know. It's very true. It's so true.
I'm waiting for some. I'm excited about that Gladiator 2.
That comes out in November. So this is kind of off the radar a little bit. Still in the movie. We're still talking movie category. So does anybody remember the book? The Best Christmas Pageant Ever. Do you remember the book?
Yes.
Do you remember the movie from the 1980s?
Yes, vaguely. Yes.
So
I remember it existed.
I read the book to the family, 5, 6, 7 years ago. Watched the old movie. Had to find it.
Which means 12 or 13 years ago.
Yeah, that's true. Cougar math. I had to go out and try and find the movie or the TV special.
It was a TV special, yeah.
And it had Loretta Swit on there. Loretta Swit, Hot Lips from MASH.
Hot Lips Houlihan, dude.
Yep.
Yeah.
So she's like the main actress of the movie. And I love the movie.
Didn't we lose her recently?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think so. I love the movie. I love the book. Love the story. The family loves it. Yeah. And I keep on saying, hey, Hollywood, how about you pull your head out of your butthole and remake this movie? Remake this book.
Are they doing it?
They're doing it. And I saw the trailer. I'm stoked. It's going to be the next Christmas classic as long as they're faithful to the story.
Yeah.
And they don't try and get all woke and crap and all that, which I don't think they are.
You know.
But I'm excited. And I showed it to the family and they're like, oh, this is going to be so cool. I just love the overall story. And if you've read the book or you've watched the movie, you know what the overall story is. Yeah. You got the bad kids in there. And you got people who are like, well, why are they going to church? And it's like,
That's who it's for, dude.
Yeah. Hello. Wow. And the end of the movie, I was tearing up in the trailer, and I'm like, yes.
Yeah.
So that's coming out in the late fall. You got Gladiator 2.
I'm excited about that. I'm excited about Gladiator 2.
There's something else.
Yeah.
It sounds like Mission Impossible 47. They just finished filming, so they're going to bring that.
How many near death?
Has anybody seen the Kevin Costner Western?
No, but as soon as I'm able, I will be indulging, because if anybody knows me, my favorite genre of movie are Westerns, and my favorite genre of director is Kevin Costner. So
good. See, yep, Heidi knows what I'm talking about. It's coming out this November, and it's by Angel Studios, so it won't be woke. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited to see it. Fall Guy, Paul, did you? I haven't seen the Fall Guy. I just didn't go out of my way.
So good. I loved Horizon. That's Kevin Costner. That's the first installment.
Okay. So they've paused releasing part 2.
Okay.
Because it had such a poor performance at the movie theater.
Yeah.
So they're not going to release it. They just decided to.
You girls can walk by if you need to. It's okay. Oh, okay. Oh, right here. Here he is. Got it.
I am not Waldo. Western's been a bit of a dry spell for you.
It has been rough, except for I've got to watch some modern Westerns, like with Yellowstone and some of that, and the series like 1883, 1923, really good. Also, there's some modern westerns come hell or high water. Modern western genre, like really phenomenal. But here's the thing. It's like I think oftentimes these sweeping saga like movies, like especially like westerns, get overlooked and brushed under the rug by these. Example, when Kevin Costner did Open Range, it did poorly at the theaters and initially did poorly with some reviewers and whatnot. And now it's looked at as being a really well done western, and I love Open Range. I tend to not listen to the critics a lot of times on these kind of things. And the other thing I've heard is that, dude, this is a 3-part saga. I mean, we're talking like Lonesome Dove here. You got to settle in for the long run. And so, in my mind, the first one is going to be.
It's 3+ hours. I
hear the critics going, well, there's no real resolution. There's no real. You're just kind of going through and like seeing these lives. Yeah, it's called a character study, you dumbass. It's like people who didn't like There Will Be Blood that Daniel Day-Lewis won the Oscar for. They're like, oh, there was no real like climax to the movie. That's called a character study, you idiot.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's what this is going to be. It's not so much about what happened, or it's not so much about how climatic or anticlimactic Horizon is, part 1. It's setting up the next 6 hours of viewing. Like, get excited, settle in, dude. Like, I'm pumped.
Yeah, and for me, it's one of those things where
4 parts, says Heidi. So
I would actually want to watch it more in my house than at the theater. Now, if Galaxy and Gig Harbor would make it so I could just pull my phone out and go, nachos, seat G7.
Yeah. Oh, wouldn't that be great?
Oh,
there's our next business idea.
We've copyrighted it.
I went to a concert with Casey and Rachel and Ryan a few years ago of a guy we really like. And when we got there, it was at, I can't remember where it was at in Seattle. Is it Neptune? I'm in the Neptune. Anyways, it was the first time I've been to a concert like this where we all had seating that had tables. And we were having dinner and listening to one of these this musician that I loved. And I was just like, this is amazing.
It's great.
Like, Gaston, more wine, please. Like, and well done. Like,
Paul says, watching new Mad Max last week. It was pretty good, worth watching.
Okay. Rachel's into the Mad Max movies. She grew up watching with her dad in the 80s.
I haven't seen, was it Ferosa?
I haven't seen.
That's the newest one.
That's the newer. The Mad Max, the one that came out a couple years ago, or like 5 years ago.
With Tom Hardy.
Tom Hardy, yeah.
I watched that and I was just like, I don't know. I mean.
Did you watch the original Mad Maxes?
It's been a long time.
Because people who are really into the original ones tend to have thought, I think, that this was really well done.
Okay. I'd have to rewatch everything. I don't know if I'd watch the Thunderdome, but, you know.
Yeah.
Tina Turner's in it.
Welcome to the Thunderdome.
There's a theater in Redmond that brings you dinner. My son and his girlfriend, fiance, my son and his fiance actually went to that movie theater, and they said it was great.
Oh, nice.
They went to go see, what's the big movie that came out this year so far? Oh my gosh, what is the big movie? I'm gonna have to look it up.
Is that a silver version?
No, it's not. No, we are not Rush Limbaugh.
No.
Top movie. Let me see.
The Blue
Yeti. Top movies 2024. Come on. Yeah.
It's not Joe Biden, dude.
No, it's not Joe Biden. What did he see? I want to see Civil War. I still want to see it.
Really? I don't know that I can watch the new Wanda.
I don't think I can either. I watched that trailer.
I saw the trailer. It was like demented and demonic. And I was like,
I know. And I told that to Ryan and
I have nightmares.
I said, there's a lot of.
Yeah.
Bad
Boys.
I'm not normally like that, but it just felt like there was a lot of demonic things in the trailer. And I get it. She's supposed to be a witch, but still.
Scared me.
Let's see.
Scared me.
There was a movie that, Dune 2. So Dune John 2. And his fiance went to go see Dune 2 in that movie theater in Redmond.
Yeah.
And he said it was top notch. He loved it. He's like, yeah, we just ordered our stuff. We didn't have to go anywhere.
That's exciting.
I'm like, all you need is a little pisser right there, and you're good to go.
Rory's got the colostomy bag on to watch Horizon.
That's right. Horizon, 3 hours long.
Yeah.
Bad Boys. I haven't seen Bad Boys.
I'm going to tell you what, though, Paul, there's never a dry spell in Westerns because really all you have to do is go look up, like, honestly, and I've done this recently, like greatest 100 Westerns of all time and be like, okay, seen that one, haven't seen that one, start watching them. There's so many great Westerns throughout the years. And there's ways to, like, get on Netflix and different things and just watch Westerns. And you're like, oh, I haven't seen this one. Yeah. And I'll watch what the F ever Western that I've never heard before.
You know, I watched Unforgiven a few months ago.
Yeah.
And it was not as good as I remembered.
Oh, I love it.
It was good, but it wasn't as good as I remembered. Dune 2.
They're always in deserts. Paul, you are fully on the sauce this morning, dude. Hopefully you're not caring for patients.
Shane. I haven't seen Shane.
Oh, neither have I.
Yeah, that's a Western from the late 60s.
Yeah, I have not seen it. But anyway, there's some movies coming out. I think we're finally starting to see. There's a lot coming down.
Man from Snowy River. I have not seen that. I need to watch that.
Somehow Neil can't comment on our show. He says, what the F?
I don't know.
Weird. He says, Rory has my ability to comment on your live show. Shut off. What the F?
I have
and
not.
And also that.
Neil. Neil, I have not.
Yeah,
I have not.
We haven't done it intentionally, buddy.
Here's the thing, is that some days StreamYard is on fire and some days StreamYard is fire.
I think Neil and I have watched Unforgiven twice at the hunting cabin on the projector.
It's a good flick. Don't get me wrong. It's for 1994. It's a good flick.
Yeah.
I just, for some reason in my mind, I thought it was more epic than it was when I watched it. So I think I had higher expectations.
Maddie and Lady watched Tombstone with me a few weeks ago, and now they love it.
See, Tombstone is cheesy, authentic Western. If that makes any sense.
I'm such a sucker for a Western. I saw a while ago on, I think it was MGM app, whatever. They had a series called Billy the Kid, and it was it's some like B-level type series, whatever. But I was like, oh, I'm on it, and I jumped on it and I watched the whole. And now season 2 just came out. And I got to watch it. But here's the cool thing about that. For a history buff, someone who likes history, and I love the history of the Old West, because if I could live in any time and place, it would be the Old West. Billy the Kid's always painted as like the young guns, crazy, doesn't care, shoot anybody, kill anybody. Yep. And this actually takes a different approach that I really liked. It paints Billy as a good kid who got a raw deal and constantly was basically fighting and scraping to get by and to try to get ahead in life. And that basically all the bad that came through that was just a result of like wrong crowd, wrong whatever. And honestly, then I started reading his actual, like really digging into his autobiography. And I was like, this might be the closest Quigley Down Under dude with Magnum PI, bro. Absolutely. Hell of a mustache. Just the what's the word, like when you're looking at the facts and trying to deduct what may or may not have happened. Like when I really looked at the facts of his life and everything he went through, I was like, this might be the most spot on of what it probably was. Yeah. He wasn't that bad of a guy. Just bad things happen, and eventually you'll do whatever you can to survive.
Well, don't listen to the Billy Joel song, because that's not accurate.
Yeah.
Have you guys heard? Okay, so he brings up any Clint Eastwood spaghetti Western.
Neil would comment if he could, and I agree. Blazing Saddles too. We need Blazing Saddles too.
They're remaking.
Absolutely love Blazing Saddles.
They're remaking The Good, the Bad, the Ugly.
Are they really?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, that's kind of when you know that Hollywood is running out of ideas, when they're remaking a classic that does not need to be remade.
Oh, dude, yeah. It's brutal.
Yeah, Paul says Quigley Down Under. Yep, Tom saw Blazing Saddles. A wolf blazing.
Oh my god!
I would pay to see that.
I literally saw a clip of Blazing Saddles the other day where the sheriff shows up at the old lady's house. He's like, "Well, howdy, man," and she's like, "Up yours." Like, calls it the N-word. I was like, "Oh, I forget about all this, dude." I haven't watched it in a few years, and I'm like, Mel Brooks can get away with anything.
I literally had as my not my ringtone, but my text message when I worked at Autoflor, and it was my late buddy Travis. Him and we would always go back and forth. Where the white women at?
No, yeah. Yeah. Ours was, so in the Marine Corps, we'd have our computers, and then when you get a new email, you get the ding, you could change it to any sound you want. And so my buddy Joe and I changed ours to only things that were said by the gunny in Full Metal Jacket. So all of a sudden, like you'd hear in the office, like, hell, I like you. You can come over to my house with my sister. And Joe would be like, oh, you got a new email.
Django Unchained.
Yeah, there you go.
Yep.
That was tough to watch in places. A Million Ways to Die in the West. There you go. There was one that was on Netflix a while ago. I'll have to put it out there. It was really good. Oh man, if you haven't watched Come Hell or High Water, I highly recommend. Let's see, Western.
Oh, good. My friend Spam Risk called too.
Aw.
I wonder if they want to go do lunch.
Let's see. What's that one I just saw? You got the Ballad of Buster Scruggs.
Oh, that is an interesting flick. I watched that back. Remember when I was doing my little break?
Oh yeah.
And I watched that. I got done doing all the things I want to do, so I'm like, okay, I'm gonna watch something. And I watched that, and I didn't know what to think of that.
Oh, here we go. You got The Harder They Fall, 2021 was good. Western, Power of the Dog, different. Longmire was a great Western series. These are all Mudbound. These are all on Netflix right now. But there was one that I watched. I'll have to find it, and then
I watched Outer Range, which is the one on Prime with.
It says Western. Back to the Future 3.
Back to the Future 3, absolutely.
Rango.
Legends of the Fall was good.
Yeah. Phenomenal.
Yeah, Outer Range. It's a little strange. It's like science fiction meets contemporary country today.
Yeah.
It's so strange that I couldn't stop watching it. Like I'm trying to figure out where are we going with this, and it sucked me in.
I'm trying to remember the name of this. I'm looking.
Oh, did you hear they're remaking Spaceballs?
Why?
It's Josh Gad, who I guess has gotten the blessing of Mel Brooks because he's already done the script.
No,
is going to redo Spaceballs. Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Olaf from Frozen is going to.
I know. Oh, speaking of, Elsa is in town next Friday to sing.
Oh, good.
Idina Menzel. And I think she's phenomenal. And I like some of her Broadway stuff too. Anyways, the tickets are up for free on VetTix. And so I'm going to try to scoop some tickets and take.
And not take Lainey?
Well, Lainey's out of town and no one else gets to go to Ireland and Greece. So she can just suck it up. But the younger kids might want to go. And then the very next night, Hootie and the Blowfish is at White River Amphitheater with Collective Soul and Edwin
Are you going to get any work done?
They're free Saturday night. What am I doing on Saturday night? Anyway.
Ed says, Bone Tomahawk. I have no clue what you're actually talking about since I had to hop off for a client call, but it's Western, OMG, Western horror.
Yeah, Bone Tomahawk is good,
I've
dude.
heard of that, but
Kurt Russell.
Oh, I have not seen that, but I've wanted to see it.
It's in the line of like a Quentin Tarantino type Western. The Hateful Eight.
I haven't seen the Hateful Eight. Okay.
It's so good.
Okay. Paul says the treasure of the Sierra Madre badges. We don't need no badges.
Absolutely.
Badges. We don't need no stinking badges.
All right, we get to sit here and talk.
Yep, that's it. We got to fire ourselves.
I have work to do.
Just watch out for the scene.
Yeah, dude. Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, good one though, Ed. Good way to bring that one up.
I feel like I'm being warned.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Well, either you're going to see us next week or you won't. I mean, it's that simple.
Yeah. We'll let you know. We'll let you know when we know.
Yeah.
Old Henry, says Neil. Yes, Old Henry. Good one.
Watch City Slickers.
Oh.
Yep.
City Slickers, by the way, are if you were to like talk about movies that have like what's your favorite movies that have a sequel? Like City Slickers is up there for me. Probably top 5, top 3. I love City Slickers and City Slickers 2.
I like Back to the Future. It's one of my favorite movies.
Of course.
But I also like Back to the Future too. Like
yes.
There's some people who don't like it because they think it's too confusing. And I'm thinking, just follow it.
Yeah,
just follow it. It's a crazy timeline. Follow it. Anyways. Yeah. So we'll let you know next Wednesday. Just look for the cool little AI generated artwork. Yeah. And either it'll be a bald guy and a guy with hair, or it'll be a sad face.
Sounds familiar.
Yeah, that's our life story.
All right, guys. Thanks for hanging out with us. We're all over the board. We appreciate you hanging out and commenting and having a good time. And we will see you next time.
That was wonderful.
Bravo!
I loved that.
Oh, it was great.
Well, it was pretty good.
Well, it wasn't bad.
Well, there were parts of it that weren't very good, though.
It could have been a lot better.
I didn't really like it.
It was pretty terrible.
It was bad.
It was awful.
It was terrible.
Get him away!
Hey, boo!
Boo!